the live video on my computer and it's not working. Kind of sucks. This way I can at least save some of the questions you guys are sending me, but we'll have to do it on the cell phone for now. Hey, who cares? Awesome, we're getting a lot of people who are joining in, and we'll probably... today's session, I was actually going to focus a little bit more on two compounds. One is Brilinta, which is a lot of people that end up having a heart attack or a stent. They tend to go on Brilinta. And another thing is the amino acid taurine. Because every time I mention taurine, everybody thinks of like energy drink. But yet, you know, this amazing amino acid does wonders to our bodies and nobody even realizes how much we need it. Jojo, hey, how's it going today? I don't know if I'm a little bit early. I thought I'd do it a little bit early today because I couldn't come back in the evening yesterday. So we'll talk about it today. NAC benefit, or what about NAC? What would you like to know about NAC? Like, if you're using it mostly for liver detoxification, it is a perfect conversion for L-glutathione levels. It depends what you want to use it for. Good for respiratory issues. If you have lung mucus buildup, really good with magnesium, and it's really good when you take it with digestive enzymes as well. Would work really good for that. I use NAC if I'm not able to get my hands on, let's say, direct glutathione, which is a little bit expensive, especially if it's liposomal. So I tend to take NAC instead because it does convert into that, and it does as well neutralize a lot of the harmful free radicals in the body. Dose probably would be about 600 to 1200 milligrams. You don't need no more than that. That's plenty enough. Good dog. Does magnesium taurate give you some taurine? It does, yeah, 100%. Magnesium taurate is technically magnesium elemental with taurine mixed together, so you get magnesium taurate. How much taurine is in it? It's a hit and miss, and I think it's not enough. Not enough. That's why I take them separately. I take magnesium chloride separate, and I add taurine of 3,000 milligrams per dose. You need at least 9,000 milligrams if you're actually trying to work with it as being what do you call it, like antiplatelet, anti-aggregation, anti-chlorine would be great for that. When is the best time to take NAC? You can take it on empty stomach if you want. If you are getting some digestive disturbance, and definitely you can take it with food. But, and the life, ideally, the short life of the NAC is roughly about 8 to 10 hours. So you can take it once a day, or you can take it, once every, let's say, 10 hours. That's why I would probably suggest taking, let's say, 600 milligrams in the morning, and maybe take another 600 milligrams in the evening with last meal. Can you consume L-arginine for longer period of time? I use it for blood pressure. You could, but you actually have to add alpha-lipoic acid so you can prevent any oxidative stress. And I don't know how much L-arginine you're taking, but technically for male, we need roughly anywhere between 9 to 12 grams, and for females, anywhere between 5 to 7 grams. Especially if you want to use it for nitric oxide production, and that's how it actually lowers your blood pressure. Just make sure you're taking alpha-lipoic acid and or vitamin C, 3,000 milligrams every 3 hours, just so you can prevent any oxidative stress. Mullein leaf, is it good for lungs? Mullein leaf, am I saying it correctly? I'm not familiar with the with that one. Let me just write it down here. So I'm just gonna look at my notes here. I don't have much information on Mullen Leaf, and don't want to just kind of give you just bunch of information that I'm not familiar with, Nolan. I'm not familiar with it. I'll definitely have to research it. Have you tested it yourself? And it looks like it's probably good for respiratory health, but I don't have much information on that, unfortunately. In your opinion, what percentage of supplements on the open market are a waste of money? Lots. That's why you always request certificate of analysis, because the certificate of analysis will tell you the breakdown of every vitamin. So let's say, as an example, so let's say you're taking niacin, and niacin, they claim to be 500 milligrams of niacin. It is good to kind of see where it's originated from, where it's actually being, what it's produced from, and how much of a pure niacin are you currently getting. So it's always good to check the certificate of analysis. And if the company does not share the certificate of analysis, then there's some kind of bullshit or something is hidden. Hello from Newfoundland, Canada. Hey, I hope you guys are having some good weather. Taurine at night is preferred. You can take taurine throughout the day. Probably 3,000 milligrams 3 times a day would be ideal if you're trying to fix or you're going after high blood pressure issue. I take way too much pills. 90% chance most pills don't have the vitamins and minerals. Probably. I would, because when it comes down to vitamins, minerals, and a lot of the supplements out there, we tend to spend a lot of money on that crap. Some of the stuff is crap, some of the stuff is legit. But if there's certain vitamins that you require per your goal, I would highly recommend reaching out to the company and asking or requesting for a certificate of analysis to make sure it is what you're kind of consuming, it is legit, and it does not have any like heavy metals and toxicity and stuff. That's why a lot of the vitamins I put out on my favorite supplements, most of them I did request certificate of analysis and I've been testing them myself. That's the only reason I have them up. But if you can find, other sources and better products, definitely you guys let me know. I'll be more than happy to update my list. Do you think over the phone doctor appointments should be going on? Doctors, they're only educated on prescribing pills. So I call them like pill pushers. Having them over the phone, it's okay, because either way they freaking do fuck all, to be honest with you. Every time there's an issue with us, instead of going to a doctor, it would be nice to kind of see the doctor over the phone, as a Zoom call, for example, for like 5 minutes, and just for the hell of it, whatever issue we have, instead of actually giving us pills, just direct us to a specialist. And I think that's what every doctor should do. Technically, I look at doctors, I've been like a secretary for like specialists. So you talk to the doctor, you tell him, hey, I have issue with my heart, or I have, oxidized cholesterol. What should I do? Instead of him giving you a freaking statins, how about you send me to a cardiologist so we do a little bit more testing? If you live in mountains, mullein lead, I gotta look into that. Mullein leaf, mullein lead, is that the same thing? It's a flower herb that has been traditionally used for potential medicinal properties, mostly respiratory, soothing properties, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, skin. I'll look into that. I'll see if I can get some and actually do some testing on it. Would be great to check it out. Total knee replacement 30 days ago. Best topical compress ingredients to help reduce inflammation. Yeah, magnesium, chloride, and castor oil. Castor or castor? Castor oil. You actually put it on a piece of cloth and you actually wrap your knee around it so it kind of reduces the inflammation. Is vitamin D3 good to take with MK7 or vitamin D with K2? Well, you know, K2, technically, if you actually break it down, it should actually consist of MK7. The thing is, it depends whether you're taking the synthetic version of vitamin D3 or just the normal version. If you are taking synthetic, then yeah, K2 is a must. But if you're taking the regular version, like, you know, what is found in our food, you don't have to actually add vitamin K2 or MK7 because you actually get it from certain foods like egg yolks and imported cheeses. If you live in mountains, there's lots of mullein where it grows. I'll be living in the mountains in like the next 4 weeks. I'll be probably living there for the next maybe 7 to 9 months straight. I'll check it out. I'm gonna see what it looks like as a picture here. Let me just pull it up on my end here. Mullein leaf. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe I might have it on a place where I end up spending 8-9 months there. It looks familiar. I'll have to check it out. I want to see if it. I'll see if it grows in the climate that I'm in, because in the climate that I'm in is very gets cold quite a bit actually. But I'll check it out. It's alpha lipoic acid to assist with L-arginine. I should send you a private message to learn a few things. Yeah, go for it, Nolan. You know, definitely you can connect to my community as well too, and we can kind of communicate through there. Would be great. Which niacin should I use for LDL lowering? You have nicotinic acid or B3. Castor oil, good for a lot of things. 100%. Yeah, I'm actually doing testing on the castor oil right now on 2 people with me. They actually have gout issues. So we're trying to actually see if it actually reduces any of the inflammation. Any IBS remedies, please. Look into peptides. Probably one of your best peptides you're going to look into would be BPC-157 for IBS. If you can get it locally, or you can order the compound, and you might have to give yourself the shot. That would be one thing I would actually use. I don't see the sun much. Should be taking vitamin D. You know, you can get vitamin D from eating wild salmon, from egg yolks, from taking cod liver oil. That's like the natural form. If you are going to get the synthetic form, because it does increase your calcium and it could cause calcification, make sure you have enough magnesium in your body and make sure your magnesium is methylated properly throughout your cellulars. So this way, in case, you know, the calcium increases, magnesium will actually prevent that from happening. Which niacin should I use? I've answered that one already. 39 years old, LDL 160, CAC score 1, family history of heart disease, father passed at 38. Sorry to hear that. I would probably suggest you sending me a direct message, but definitely you can take niacin as nicotinic acid, 500 milligrams. The nice thing is with niacin, it lowers your triglycerides, lowers your LDL, increases your HDL, but overall your cholesterol numbers, they will actually stabilize, so it prevents any calcification, prevents any oxidization of the lipids. And if you currently have already a plaque, which is you already have a CAC score of 1, it will actually stabilize it from breaking apart. Now, while you're doing niacin, would highly recommend you taking magnesium chloride, about 200 milligrams every 3 hours, so you can actually start healing your blood vessels. And I would add berberine, and I would add taurine as well. is magnesium chloride good in capsule or is liquid? It has to be in liquid form. You have to actually mix it with your water, couple of drops in a cup of water, and you drink it. Or you can get, something like this. This is what I get, like a trace minerals. Every, what is it? Every 20 drops would give you 240 milligrams of magnesium chloride. And all you gotta do is just drop it in your water. And that's it. And here I already have magnesium. I just put a little bit more. Now it's gonna taste freaking nasty, but it's okay. But yeah, it's better if you can get it liquid actually. Because the whole idea is to kind of get it through your cellular system as fast as possible. And the nice thing about magnesium chloride, it does not cause soft stool like you do with magnesium althreonate or magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate, because your body can only absorb so little at a time, and it's the best to actually use magnesium chloride. Anything for constipation, magnesium oxide or magnesium citrate. Just go around. What is the Brilinta versus taurine headline about? So Brilinta is usually given to a lot of users who actually experience a heart attack and they have a stent. So they usually put on Brilinta to prevent, platelet aggregation, chlorine, and pretty much that's what Brilinta does. Technically, just so the person does not experience, like say, a secondary heart attack, for example, so they're put on that. But and the unfortunate thing is, it depends where the stent is placed in your arteries. Some users will have to be a Brilinta for the rest of their life, and it's a very expensive product. But to replace Brilinta, you can actually replace it with taurine. So keep in mind, the Brilinta is supposed to be consumed twice a day, one in the morning, one at night, because it's short life expansion is only like about 8 to 10 hours. So you have to take it at night again. If you actually build up taurine and you saturate your body correctly, taurine will actually work around the clock 24/7, and it does the same thing. Platelet aggregation, anti-clotting, and at the same time, it prevents atherosclerosis from growing as well too. So it would be ideal. So that's why they end up using taurine with magnesium, and they actually mix it together and they turn it into like magnesium taurate. But the problem is we don't get enough of it. We need a lot more. Oh wow, I missed so many questions. What's good probiotic for gut health? There's a lot out there. You just have to test them out. The only thing is I hate about probiotics, most of the time when you buy them, they're already freaking dead. Because we don't know how long, you always have to check the date when it was actually produced, when it expires. If it actually was produced in, let's say, a time frame of 3 to 6 months, would be not bad to actually get. But if it's longer than that, most of the time it's dead on the shelf. And by the time you get it and you start taking it, you're probably consuming maybe less than 10%. But probiotics should be consumed about 2 hours before you eat or about 1 hour after you eat for better performance or better bacteria. Or you can make your own from kefir. How to heal adrenals. One of my husband is calcified. So your adrenals is calcified. I have a combination. Let me grab it for you. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I have actually a combination that I wrote, and I did some testing on it for the adrenals. Let me just, so I don't know if you're ready to write this. This is a person who asked about how to heal adrenals. So write this down. You have to take L-tyrosine, which as I've discussed numerous times. You take 200 milligrams. You take vitamin B5 of 125 milligrams, ashwagandha 100 milligrams, Siberian ginseng 75 milligrams, and vitamin B6 of 16 milligrams. And some users, they like to add L-theanine of 200 milligrams. So if you can get that combination, that would be really good for adrenal support and for the calcification. But In addition, anything that is calcified, it is always good to actually have high levels of magnesium in your body so it can actually break down that calcification. Hello everyone, hey Karen. I've tried magnesium citrate, but it did not do much for me. If you're using magnesium citrate for like constipation, technically you gotta take it every 2 hours at a 200 to 400 milligrams a dose. So you can actually create more of water flush to your intestines. If you've only taken what it says recommendation there, you're just wasting your money. Are you Tony Hawk's brother? Maybe. Which product would you recommend for probiotics? I don't take any, Saf. You have to actually look into it. But you know, I'm not gonna just give you a random name of probiotics. You just have to search, and once you find one through, let's say, iHerb or Amazon, you know, get the brand name of it and request a certificate of analysis. Okay. Then as well, if you're buying it from iHerb, they do actually imprint the date, so definitely it is good to check the date. And that's how you know whether it's going to be good or not. But minimum, you should be looking at 100 billion bacteria to actually start with for the probiotics. Don't start with anything small like 10 million or whatever it is. It should be about 100 billion or more. I actually make my own kefir for that. Greeting from Miami. Had to get some sunshine, vitamin. Cheers to that. Vitamin D is awesome. Which magnesium should be taken when taking? Which magnesium should be taken when taking vitamin D? Magnesium chloride. This is for Virginia. What use do I get if I take 2,500 micrograms? 2,500 micrograms and vitamin D3 800 IU. 2,500 micrograms of what? What use do I get if I take 2,500 milligrams of what? And vitamin D3 of 800 IU with no prescription. 2,500 milligrams, please explain what form of vitamin you're trying to take. Niacinamide versus nicotinic acid or B3, I'm confused. So nicotinic acid or B3 are both the same thing. Some companies call them B3, some companies call them nicotinic acid. Very simple. Nicotinic acid and B3, they're actually used to support lipid profile, which is cholesterol lowering, HDL increasing, and prevents oxidation. Niacinamide is more of the metabolism for longevity, but it's a metabolism for carbohydrates, protein, and fats. And it does not cause a flush. We need that flush effect. What do you recommend for high blood pressure? I did an ebook on high blood pressure with the full supplement line, what to take, how to take them, and a full lifestyle to actually follow. Definitely check it out. Has everything in it. Blood test to get, lifestyle to follow, and the supplements that you should take and what you should be testing for, specific blood work. Check it out, guys. What's the best thing to clean your liver and kidneys? I did an ebook on how to clean your liver with a few ingredients that you can take, you know, from nano turmeric to milk thistle, dandelion, hibiscus. I have all the ingredients in there and the dose amount. I think the ebook is only selling for like $1. I put it up there for, so check it out for sure. And for your kidneys, the best thing that actually works for kidneys is you have to increase your citrus intake, and that's how you actually flush out your kidneys and you allow your GFR to work way better. Niacin dose for high triglyceride, age 46. What is high triglycerides? It varies per person. That's why I did a niacin, how to use niacin as a therapeutic level. You start at 100 milligrams and you work your way up based on your goal. If let's say your triglyceride is 100 and you want to lower it below that, then 300 milligrams would be ideal. If your triglycerides are in the upper 300 or 400, then maybe 3,000 milligrams would be ideal for you. So it all varies per person's body weight, per your age, per how much your triglyceride is increased. What is the best diet for a healthy life? For a healthy, did I read it right? What's the best diet for a healthy life? Every person is uniquely designed differently. Each one of us have a unique microbiota and stuff like that. But we always want to check, what is the most bioavailable food for the human? Is bone marrow, organs, beef, maybe eggs, fish, not a whole lot because we don't get all the dense nutrients as we would get from beef. These would be like your ideal to maintain and fulfill any missing gaps of vitamins, minerals, so on and so forth. All the other things such as, vegetables and greens and some fruits should be minorly consumed, whatever is in season only. So if, let's say, for example, we only get, let's say, in the area you live in, you only get blueberries, in July and August, then that's all you will consume. Blueberries in July and August. If, you get, let's say, bananas or apples in the month of October, then that's all you would consume for fruits. So you should never actually consume these fruits during the winter time where they're not growing. So me here being in Canada, I am mostly it's been like almost 9 years now being carnivorous straight. And I tend to kind of include certain fruits, whatever is in season. And the only vegetables that I actually consume would be cucumbers or lettuce. That's it. What use do I get if I take 2,500 micrograms of vitamin B12 and vitamin D3 800 IU with no prescription? Even though I'm a bit anemic. For anemic issues, now whenever you take your vitamin B12, you're supposed to be taking your methylfolate as well at the same time. But I'd like to know a little bit more, what's going on with you being anemic. I know you could be having issues with the, let's say, red blood cells is decreasing, could be an autoimmune disease, could be a chronic disease, could be many things. I'd like to know exactly if you're supplementing with other things such as iron or not, or you're actually deficient in iron. Would be nice to get a little bit more information. Yeah, D3 is ideal, vitamin B12, but you're missing your folate, your methylfolate as well should be included. How much magnesium chloride should I take? 200 milligrams every 3 hours. That's for Virginia. My leg cramped very bad last night. What can I take for that? I recently have been taking magnesium. You're probably not taking enough magnesium. And if you have magnesium chloride, whenever you get that cramped, put it under your tongue and let it sit there for about a minute. Like roughly about 200 milligrams of magnesium chloride. You are the best, Habibi. Yay, cheers. Excreting mucus and not feces, constipated, and when I feel going to the toilet for two only gas. Send me a direct message. I'll help you with this and I'll give you some ideas of what to do and stuff. If you don't mind, would be great. Do you work on private session, please? I do, yes. Zinab, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Yeah, definitely you can contact me privately. We can have a session and we can discuss things in details. And I'll put your name down here as well too. I'll look forward for your message and we can definitely discuss more in details as well too. Wow, it just keeps jumping. I will, thanks a lot. I see and low histamine diets to avoid fermented foods. Any thoughts? Yeah, I don't eat any fermented foods because it does create an issue. I kind of try to stay away from like sauerkraut, kimchi, all that stuff. I was getting issues with even, kefir because it's almost like fermentation of the milk. And when I switched to like goat milk, that's completely kind of gone. But yeah, it does play a huge role as well too. But, you can always take some supplements. And I think we've discussed about that before. You can always take some supplements to actually prevent that. But if you don't want to really worry about supplementation and the histamine issue, just watch out on the fermentation process or anything that you're doing. Um, mm, mm. Sorry guys, I'm trying to actually go back up again, and I keep missing certain questions. So if I do miss any questions, guys, either since I am still on, definitely ask them again, and I'll be more than happy to try to answer if I could. How about artichoke extract good for? You can use it for liver, and I think I do have it in my liver ebook cleanses as well too. It is good because it does help with digestion. Some people, they do claim that it lowers LDL. The only reason it lowers LDL, it's not really it lowers it. It kind of prevents oxidization because it actually keeps your liver clean, which is really good because it does have some antioxidant properties as well too. The problem is with artichoke, it is as well a prebiotic, so it does feed your good microbiome. I do eat it sometimes whenever I get my hands on it, but the problem is it flushes a lot of things from your system. So you just gotta make sure if you are doing artichoke that you replenish with some trace minerals as well too. Let me put I'm gonna put your name down. P Sunith 76 private session, please. If you guys click on my link in the top picture, you can definitely book a private session there for 30 minutes, let's say, or an hour. We'll be more than happy to actually discuss in details. My side feet hurt. I'm seeing a reflexology picture from the internet. It says I got bad gut. See, everything is related to the gut. You know, anything. You either eating to fear in a disease or you're eating to cure one. You know, so when you're eating to fear a disease, you always have to break down your food. But, you know, originally every person I actually do, like say, consultation or private session with, I always break down their lifestyle because I want to get an idea of exactly what you're consuming and how your body is reacting to it. Is your body reacting to it in a positive way, or is your body reacting to it into a negative way? And whenever there's a negative way is being reacted to it, we have to actually eliminate that food, and we can actually give your body a chance to heal. Just keep in mind, guys, whenever we actually allow the body to heal, nothing happens overnight, right? Nothing happens overnight. It does take time. For example, yeah, I do have plaque build up in my neck because of an incident that I had years ago. And right now I've been on a specific routine for about 3 years with a specific supplement, especially taurine, magnesium, berberine, vitamin E. And so far the plaque in my neck, what I've tested today, I just came from the cardiologist, we did an ultrasound, it has dropped by about 15%. This is only in 3 years, 15%. So it does take time. It does take time to actually fix certain things, especially if we're doing it naturally. And guys, all we have is time in this life. As long as you're feeling healthy and you're feeling optimal and you're taking your vitamins and you're feeling some positive effect from it, continue doing it. Don't just get frustrated and say, how would this is not working? It is working. It's just, it takes it takes so much time to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. Do collagen supplement work? In a way, yes and no. If you actually have issues with, let's say, collagen deficiency, or around your joints that your collagen is being from wear and tear depleted, it does take 7 years to rebuild it. It doesn't happen right away. So imagine how many tubs of collagen you have to take and how much bone broth you have to drink. We're talking 7 years. That's why a lot of people, they want the fast and the easy way. They do like stem cells. Leonidas, yes, it is, which is excellent, and that's why I've created an ebook on how to reverse atherosclerosis, and all the vitamins that I'm taking, I actually put them all there as well too. So the positivity of it is really good. And usually I will see my cardiologist again in another 8 months. So I'm hoping another 8 months I can actually even lower it a lot more. And I know I know with increased dose of magnesium, I think I want to actually eliminate it. Hopefully, and my plan is to eliminate it within about a year. I know it's been about 3 years working on this process, but everything takes time. But it is working. It is working, and everything is reversible. The problem is the artery that has been damaged and that has calcification. The artery has to be healed, and once the artery is healed, the calcification will start to break apart. But it's healing the artery, and it does take time. And I know I've been working with another person right now with the hydrogen stuff as well. I have not taken any, but I'm doing a lot of research on that, and we'll definitely add that to the document, or probably we'll have like a more of a discussion with it. Is it good idea to take homemade kefir made with goat milk every day? I take it. I was taking it daily. Now I don't take it daily anymore. I only take it like maybe twice a week. But I was making my own, and I kept using the same kind of fermentation recipe for about 6 months. So instead of drinking a cup, now I take like 1 or 2 tablespoons, and you get more than enough of it. So yeah, continue doing it, and goat milk would be your best if you can actually continue making it. Any advice for endometriosis? What are you doing right now? Like, are you taking any pain medication for that, or any like hormonal therapy? Would be nice to know, just to get an idea. I'll tell you what, good dog, if you're able to send me that as a direct message, and maybe we can go a little bit more in specific, because there is some therapies. They could be sorry, it wasn't from Good, that was from Soup. Sorry. If you can send me a direct message, I'll definitely give you a little more information, but I'd like to know exactly what you've been doing. Have you tried EDTA to remove calcifications? I have not tried it. I got an email from the company the other day to actually do a test on that, and I haven't had a chance to say yes or no. Spacetime, have you tried it yourself? If you have, please let me know the solution. Let me know if it actually worked, because I know about the EDTA, the chelation therapy. I'm very interested, and it does work as an anticoagulation and all that stuff. The problem is that I have with that, so EDTA does remove calcification. Perfect. I have no problem with doing that. The problem is if your arteries are still damaged and you remove the calcifications, that means they're going to end up having leakage. That means you're going to end up having a blood clot. That means you could have possible heart attack. So that was my question, and they haven't really responded with the proper information yet. So Spacetime, if you have tried it, did you have calcifications? And was the calcification removed 100%? And did your artery heal or not? So that's my question. Any suggestions for cataracts? You can heal it. Vitamin C, magnesium, nitrate supplement. And once your nitrate has vasodilated your capillaries and everything well, then I would remove the vitamin C, and I would add astaxanthin instead. Autoimmune disease reversible? Yeah, 100% it is. Carnivore diet have done a lot of wonders and have cured a lot of the autoimmune diseases. Just depends which in specific, because there's certain vitamins, minerals are required. What's the best way to boost testosterone levels? Have you tried boron? 10 milligrams? Does work really good. No, I have not tried it. See, space time. That's the problem with that EDTA. I'd love to try it, but once I get my answers, then definitely because we know the calcification is two parts. It's part calcium and part lipoprotein small a. That's the oxidized version of your lipids. But the only reason they're there is to actually patch a damaged artery. So the question is, we need to actually heal the damaged artery before we break down the calcification. And to heal the damaged artery, there's three ingredients. There's magnesium, there's garlic, and there's berberine that actually heal the damaged artery. And the way you can tell your damaged artery is healed, there's a test you can get. It's called PUL. I know it's available in certain countries. Or there's another one called MPO or LPPLA2. It tells you your blood vessels, how well they're working. Any side effects of starting on 500 milligrams niacin? You're going to get a flush effect. Your skin is going to turn red and itchy. That's one of the minor side effects. If you have issues with uric acid and gout, it will increase your uric acid levels. That's it. Vitamin E. What about vitamin E? Where are you originally from? From Lebanon. What about a hiatal hernia that causes acid reflux? When you have acid reflux issue, you have to start doing food combining. Now, once you start doing food combining, that's the only natural form that we've come across over the years is food combining and small amounts of meals when you're consumed. Obviously, the digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acids and probiotics and prebiotics, they all work pretty good, and actually they will ease off the issues with the digestion, but you have to actually do food combining. Can you repeat name, please, for this testosterone, or write it in the chat, please? How can I write in the chat? I have not tried to write in the chat. That's why I was trying to actually do the live chats on my computer, so this way I can respond. Maybe I can comment. Oh, there we go. Boron. Oh, this is pretty easy. Is the 500 milligrams niacin taken on empty stomach? Best time to take, etc. Thank you. This is, yes, 500 milligrams on an empty stomach with 1 cup of warm water 1 hour before you eat your dinner. Mariam, hello. Any advice on post-nasal drip? Let's see, post-nasal drip. Let me see if I have any notes on that. I have like my own little Wikipedia here. I've done so much information over the years. Some stuff I do have. So for the post-nasal drip, the only ones that I've actually put in my dose recommendation would be bromelain, 1000 milligrams or 3000 GFU with quercetin of 25 milligrams. Cayenne pepper good for blood vessels, even seals cracks in blood vessels, yet thin blood. It does thin the blood. The only reason I haven't tried cayenne pepper, well, I tried it years ago, but I can't really tolerate it because it does give me joint pain, because it falls into the nightshade family, I think, and I do get joint pain. But if anyone have tested cayenne pepper, yes, it does work amazing for thinning the blood, but to heal the blood vessel, would love to see if anyone out there has taken it and have seen the results. I have not tested the cayenne yet. Maybe I should test it out for the next 6-7 months and maybe just ignore my joint pain that I get, see if it does actually work. Maybe I'm gonna do that, Nolan. I'm gonna 100% do that. Best way to clean gut naturally? Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting works amazing. And I'm not just talking about your freaking 18-hour fasting or 24 hours. I'm talking prolonged fasting. Like we're talking 3 days. This summer, I might be doing like a full 10-day prolonged fasting and see how that affects the calcification. In Amazon, they sell niacinamide as B3. Why? No, there gotta be something wrong. If it says niacinamide, then it's not the flush version. Mozart, check out the link in my profile. Click under my favorite supplements. I do have the correct niacin listed, and try to match it to that one. Hello from Miami. Which exact nitrate supplement do you take? I have the link within my bio. If you click on my picture and click on the link, you do see the link, and I have it under. I'm just gonna pull it up on my screen. So once you click on my picture, should be 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5. It would say a nitrate supplement, and the one I take is by Berkeley Life. Apple cider vinegar for increasing hydrochloric acid. Yeah, works really good. Some of these questions are ridiculous. Well, you know, it is what it is. Everybody has a unique way of asking questions, Jermaine. What do you think of acupuncture? I did it years ago. It is good for actually increasing stimulation, increasing blood flow as well, specifically to specific capillaries or nerves that are not functioning well. I did acupuncture for about 6 months years ago for my eye. When I got into an accident and I ended up losing my vision in my left eye, and I ended up having a retinal detachment, I would get like probably about 3-4 needles in my eye on the top and about 2 on the bottom and on my top of my head to actually stimulate more blood flow. And that's when I came across nitrate. So I started taking nitrate instead because acupuncture was very expensive. What do you think about taking baking soda for pH levels in the stomach? Yeah, you can definitely do that. If you wanna, it depends what you're trying to do. It depends what you're trying to do with the baking soda and your pH level. How much boron per day and for how long? 10 milligrams. You can take it as part of your daily intake as a mineral. I've been taking it for probably about like 4 years now. And Jake, are you using like baking soda as like antacid kind of issue to kind of lower the acidity? What's your opinion on eating for your blood type? Yeah, it's not bad. It works pretty good. Some people believe in it. I think, what is it? Type O, they thrive on meat, and type A and B, I think they thrive more on carbohydrates. I have a pacemaker and a stent. Is nitric oxide safe? Yeah. I'm just looking at my notes here because nitric oxide, it is 100% safe for a stent. I've been taking it for 8-9 years just because I do have a stent. For pacemaker, I'm just checking my notes what I have under nitric oxide here. You're probably monitoring this digitally, are you? For the pacemaker or? Like in my notes, it says that it does not really conflict with pacemaker, but definitely, you know, nitric oxide, you're gonna look at it as, I don't know if they're giving you like high blood pressure medication and stuff, because it almost works almost the same pathway, but on a safer side. Cayenne pepper expands artery walls, and if causes tears, the cayenne will seal it. Trust me. Nolan, I'm trusting you, man. And I'm actually going to try it. I'm going to go buy cayenne pepper, and I'm actually going to start taking it. And I'm actually going to hold you up accountable for this, and I'm going to start taking it. And when I do my test in about 8 months, I'm going to come back and say, hey, Nolan, yes, it did work 100%, or no, it did nothing for me. I know 8 months is a short term, but at least we'll know what's going on. Is it okay to drink apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach? You could if you can handle it. All you're doing is just increasing the acidity, which is fine. I took acupuncture for weight loss. It was very expensive, had to stop. And how was the effect? Did it work for the weight loss? I'm just curious. Because I know there's a lot of hype about acupuncture, but you know, I have not seen much I've seen that it did work for my eye when I was taking it for blood flow. I started to trace minerals made by a company called Trace, and I can't sleep during the daytime. I can't sleep during the night. How much you're taking? Trace, is it the same as the one I have here? Your Trace Minerals, Mozart? How much are you taking? Grow cayenne pepper. I am gonna grow some this summer. I'm actually gonna look you up, Nolan. I have your name freaking saved. I'm gonna either say, "Hey, thanks so much for the cayenne pepper." I'm gonna say, "What the hell did I just do?" How to raise low blood pressure. How to raise low blood pressure. This is very interesting. Send me a direct message. I'll give you some information on that because it varies per person actually. Any suggestion to help with heart health and overall immune system? What do you mean by heart health? Need a little more information. Like, is your heart not pumping properly? Are you having irregular heartbeat? Are you having arrhythmia? Issues like that. When you talk about immune system, is your immune system being destroyed? Usually for immune system, we supply the body with vitamin D3 at a high milligrams. And for heart health, you have niacin, you have nitric oxide, which is nitrate, you have taurine. There's a lot of different supplements. I just need a little bit more information, but your most original supplement to use would be magnesium. I'll use cayenne and it works for me. Been for 4 months so far. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna check that out. Space Time, Maurice, you're a humble man. Hey, cheers, man. If you have no feeling in foot, no circulation, you put cayenne pepper on damp cloth, put on foot. Okay. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna actually try it out. I was actually given another recipe, Nolan, the other day. Cayenne pepper with vodka, and you actually put it on the scalp of your hair. You massage it in your scalp for about 5-10 minutes before you shower, and it's supposed to actually increase the circulation. And if you have hair loss like me, my hair is starting to thin out, it will actually works for that, for increasing blood flow to the follicles. And that's cayenne with vodka. You have to actually put them together and let them sit for about 6 weeks before you use them. So I'm actually interested in actually trying all that stuff out. Jermaine, worked for weight loss. I had to go on a special protein diet to go along with it. So is it more of the protein diet or is it more of the acupuncture? Because if you go on an elimination diet and all you eat is protein, you will actually lose body fat like that instantly. Especially if you're looking to do like an elimination diet such as a carnivorous diet. Cayenne pepper removes blood. You could save someone on a heart attack. No, I believe it. I believe it. Usually anybody, let's say, experiencing a heart attack, we either recommend Celtic salt under the tongue because of the magnesium. That's why a lot of the hospitals, they give you like magnesium sulfate. They stab you with magnesium sulfate in the stomach when you're having a heart attack. So magnesium works really good. Nitrate works really good. It's good to know about cayenne as well too. I'm going to add that to my notes. Nolan, it seems you know lots about cayenne. We should definitely share some notes, and I'm going to actually put some information together on that. Collagen or gelatin for joint skin? Both, but you need vitamin C to actually allow them to methylate properly, wildlife. Is there serious side effect if you overdose on flecainide? Flecainide. So, like, it depends how much you're taking, because I'm just trying to kind of think, because this is something to do with the arrhythmias and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's not so much about overdosing. Why would you want to overdose? Would you think that you overdose that you're gonna fix the issue? All that it's doing is just blocking certain, like a lot of this stuff, all it does is just blocks calcium. so your heart rate is beating back up again properly. Because what happens is, the only reason sometimes we get arrhythmia, tachycardia, or irregular heartbeat, because we have so much calcium in our body and not enough magnesium. So what they do is, when they give you, like, say, a channel blockers or similar medication like the one you mentioned, flecainide, it just reduces the calcium. So now you have a good balance between your magnesium and your calcium. So your heart rhythm will actually go back to normal. But you can fix all that stuff with just taking magnesium. I'm using 10 drops, the same trace product like yours. 10 drops per cup of water, that is a lot, just to let you know. Okay? So 10 drops, there is a lot to actually start using, because if you just got it, you just worked your way up to 10 drops, there is a lot. I put maybe 20, 30 drops per cup of water after I train, and throughout the day I probably use one or two drops. But I take magnesium separately. If you're trying to get the magnesium out of this, you are putting a lot more, so you're going to put a little bit more stress on your pancreas. So you shouldn't really use that much or per cup. How do we get too much calcium in the body? Having malfunctioning thyroid increases your calcium. Taking vitamin D3 increases your calcium. Most of our foods are fortified with calcium, like grains, flour, bread, milk products. What are your thoughts on the trend using Ozempic? Ozempic for weight loss? Green pepper helps with bare heart and days. So is Ozempic very similar, like, what do you call them? I'm trying to remember of that one. Like metformin kind of thing, or possibly like berberine, because it's just like, the only reason it does work just because it lowers and doesn't allow your insulin to spike. But you can definitely do that by intermittent fasting, taking berberine, switching your simple carbohydrates from being during daytime to last meal of the day. There's a lot of other ways, instead of taking Ozempic as a drug. And there's no reason to take drugs for weight loss. And I know there's a lot of people been doing it, and most of the users I talk to sometimes, they want to take Ozempic as a fast way, but there is no such thing as fast way. It's all in the food you eat. And the only reason they keep gaining weight and don't lose weight as effectively, because they actually spike insulin during the daytime that you're not supposed to spike it during the daytime. Because if you're not going to utilize it, you're just going to add more weight. PCOS, what would be best take for insulin resistance? Berberine and intermittent fasting would be your probably best. Mango, I bet you are so patient and truly kind, very helpful. Thank you. Really appreciate your comments, guys. What should we take for weight? Nathan, what should we take for weight? Are you looking like for weight loss? Okay, for weight loss, I'll say this to everyone. Whether you consume 2 meals a day or whether you consume 3 meals a day, the first initial step that you should do, your first meal or your first 2 meals, do not consume anything that spikes insulin, such as sugars, grains, seed oils, anything processed. Stop consuming that in the first 2 meals of the day. And last meal, it's okay to consume and actually get a little insulin spike, because now you're gonna utilize insulin as a repair mechanism. Keep in mind, insulin makes things grow. If you take it during the daytime and you don't utilize it, your triglyceride is gonna go up and you're gonna put on body fat. If you take it at night and your body has gone through 12 hours or 18 hours of extreme, whether working out, working hard, feeling stressed, whatever it is, your body is going to go into a repair mechanism at night. So when it goes into a repair mechanism at night, we utilize insulin way better at night than during the daytime, and you naturally start losing weight. Another thing you can always do is add berberine per meal so you don't create such a high spike of insulin. Is cayenne pepper good for blood pressure? Since it does thin out the blood, yes, it will actually be good for blood pressure. If Ozempic works, isn't it a good thing? If Ozempic works, isn't it good? Well, again, it's a freaking drug you're taking. If it does work for weight loss, yeah, 100%, it is good for certain individuals, but all you're doing is just taking drugs. So why don't you just stop the freaking drugs and just do it naturally, or possibly look into your eating habits and maybe consider taking something natural. There's a lot of natural products out there that is made from the food that we're supposed to freaking consume. So insulin is used mostly at night because it acts as a repair mechanism. But if you want to lower your HbA1c, glucose levels, insulin would be best to take it at night. I'm gonna go have my coffee soon, guys. If you want me to stay a little bit longer, I want to see my likes go up to like 10,000. Yesterday we got it up to like 30,000 likes. I know I don't really get anything from the likes, but it's nice to see, just for the hell of it. How much of a spike is good at night? So the whole idea is, you're gonna spike your insulin to like maybe 6 or 8 millimolars. I don't know how you're actually I'm doing it from my version, so I spike it to about 6 to 8 millimolars, and technically I'd like to see the sugar spike to actually drop and stable less than 6 hours. If it extends more than 6 hours, that means you're causing inflammation. I hope that answers your question. Kiki has high blood pressure advice. Guys, I did a ebook on how to cure and reverse high blood pressure. I've talked about the medications that you're currently taking, how to wean off of them. I talk about the blood work you should get, the lifestyle that you should follow. Cheers to the hat. Thank you. I've talked about what supplements to take to actually stabilize your high blood pressure and fix it. And I talked about blood tests specifically for your kidneys, your arterial flexibility, everything in there. I went in full detail, so check it out. I did put a lot of hours into it, and I hope it will give you guys the answer. And if you disagree with anything I'm saying within any of the ebooks, definitely send me a message. We'll be more than happy to discuss it in details. The taste of magnesium sucks. I put way too much. How to ease bloating? Magnesium. So magnesium, when you take magnesium chloride or magnesium citrate or glycinate, it takes the water. When you take over than 200 milligrams, it takes that water and it flushes all that water down to your intestines. So if you're actually having issues with bloating, it's going to end up relieving it, that's what we need. How to reduce anxiety? Take L-theanine, 200 milligrams. You said magnesium, vitamin C, nitrates for cataracts. Could you be more specific, please? So you take vitamin C, 3,000 milligrams every 3 hours. Magnesium chloride, 200 milligrams every 3 hours as well. And you take nitrates, 2 capsules every morning as soon as you wake up. The nitrate supplements, all the supplements I talk about, is all within my bio. You can definitely check it out. Once you've been taking nitrate for about, let's say, 30 to 45 days, that means you have vasodilated all your arteries and your capillaries. Now you get more nutrients going to your vision. Once you get to that mark, you can actually reduce or you can stop vitamin C and replace it with astaxanthin while you're taking nitrate. And these would be like your ultimate 2 supplements for cataracts. Guys, keep in mind, every video I'm doing live, I've been downloading it and I upload it to my YouTube channel. So if you do want to kind of go back to that video, if you miss certain things or certain doses I spoke about, you can definitely get all that information by replaying that video. So definitely check it out. I don't get the numbers you're talking about. Is 200, 300 on glucose monitor okay? Oh, shoot. I gotta do the conversion for you. Give me a second. So if we're talking 8 millimolar in glucose to US standard, because mine is different. Let me check the conversion table, because I was talking to you in the conversion we use here in Canada. So when I bring my millimolar up to 8, that means we're bringing it up. This is for wildlife, so I'm bringing it up as high as 145 milligrams per deciliter, and I want it to go back down to, I hope I'm reading this correctly, and I want it to go back down to about 100 or even 90 within about 6-hour period. I hope that helps. Mullen leaf, osha root, chaga, fungus, cayenne, pepper will help with heart and lungs. Nolan, thanks so much for sharing that information. I really appreciate it, and I'm actually gonna write it down, because I think you love the herbs and you love all that stuff. But I'm gonna check out mullein leaf, osha root. I've tried chaga, did not like it, did not really feel anything from it. Cayenne, pepper for heart and lungs. Where are you getting all that recipes from? Is it from, what's her name, that Dr. something, Robin something, I think. Do you take berberine? I do take berberine. I started about 2,000 milligrams twice a day, and now I'm down to about 500 milligrams twice a day. Asma, hi from UK. Can I take collagen? I'm diabetic, so not sure. Yeah, you can take collagen. It's not going to conflict with diabetic. Just make sure you're taking vitamin C and magnesium to actually assist with the methylation. What to use for burps? Are you constantly burping, or does it like come and go, or is it only when you eat? This is from Alvia. Is it a constant burping all the time? Like, the only thing I was would suggest taking digestive enzymes on an empty stomach, and taking probiotics almost about 2 hours before you eat or an hour after you eat your meal. That would be like the most probably basic stuff you can do. Depression, L-theanine and L-tyrosine. Guys, I got 5 more minutes. I'm just gonna take like maybe 1 or 2 questions. Hello from West Virginia. Hey Paul, how's it going today? Maybe Paul, we're waiting for you to ask me a question, because I got like a few more minutes here before I go for the day. You are right. I should max use 10 drops trace minerals daily for the first 5 days, then increase. Yeah, you can increase after that, but if you're taking magnesium chloride separately, no need to increase. Keep it at that basic, because a bottle like this could last you almost 6 months. Seriously, could last you almost 6 months, because I only use it, I take a couple of drops per cup of water, because I'm constantly drinking magnesium in every cup as well too. Paul, I'm doing well, thanks. Tell me your best supplement for prostate issue. Prostate supplement. I knew that question was gonna come up, because I am working on a project for somebody on prostate issue, and I've been putting a lot of vitamins together for him. But to give you one of the best one, there's so many out there, but I like 2 of them. There's vitamin D, but you gotta take about 50,000 IU. And there's selenium. These would be my favorite 2 combination. I know there's a lot of people talk about lycopene and sapelmaro and zinc and L-tyrosine, but these 2 would be like my top 2. And right now we're doing high mega dose of intake to see how it affects the prostate. How long do I stay on 500 milligrams niacin? When I do increase, how long do I do this for? I did a therapeutic ebook on how to use niacin. Maybe it is best you actually check it out and download it, because it will actually, technically, you're supposed to start, let's say as an example, so you start 100 milligrams at lunch, 100 milligrams at dinner. Then, the second day or the third day, you start 100 milligrams during the daytime and 200 milligrams at night. And you constantly keep doing that increase till you get to a number where you feel you're good at. Let's say it could be 500 milligrams at night and maybe 400 milligrams during the daytime, or 500 milligrams both morning and night. Then you actually check your triglycerides, for example, and your cholesterol. And if you find that the goal that you got to, you're satisfied with, then that would be your ideal dose going forward. And every 90 days, you get off niacin for about 5-7 days, and you actually repeat that formula again. But I have that formula within my ebook, so check it out. Rarely that my sugar goes down to 90 or 100, only if I do cardio. And then that's the thing is, because, our bodies kind of got used to having that insulin spike all the time and causing that coagulation and high HbA1c. But once you train your body to actually start to use your own, body fat for energy and not depend so much on sugar, that HbA1c level or that glucose monitor will start to actually hit in the low hundreds. Stinging nettle. Oh, you use that for prostate size to normal. That's interesting. Maybe I should add that, because right now we're working with high vitamin D doses with selenium. Maybe I haven't checked into the stinging nettle yet, because I'd like to actually try that with the saw palmetto. And how much were you taking of the stinging nettle root? Where's the dog? Has he grown anything? Let me see. I'm in the bedroom right now. He's outside. I left him outside because he was taking a nap and I didn't want to interrupt him. And he usually wakes up at 3, which is within about a minute. So that's why I was going to end the chat and go play with him a bit. Because this morning I had to go do my cardiologist to check certain things to see where we at. And I actually took him for a nice early walk, and we did about 45 minutes of nose work. So that nose work of 45 minutes kind of drained him. Came back, played with him for another 45 minutes, did some commands and stuff, and he was left by himself. This is the first time I leave him by himself for about 2.5-3 hours in garden. But he actually just sat on the chair, and I had the 2 cameras just to kind of watch him to make sure he's doing good. And he just sat there and just waited for me. Which is better, magnesium glycinate or threonate? I'm actually doing a video on magnesium threonate. Now, magnesium glycinate, it is good for relaxation. It would be ideal time to take it would be before you sleep, because if you take it during the daytime, you are going to feel fatigue or slight sleepiness. Threonate is really good as well for sleep, but as well it is good for cognition, for mood, for anxiety, for depression. I like to take magnesium threonate in the morning when I drink my coffee. It's like a powerhouse for your brain. And sometimes I do add MCT oil with omega-3 DHA to kind of fully blow and open up your mind and your potential to actually shut off everything in your brain, and you're 100% focused. 100% focused on, let's say, whatever you're working on or whoever you're talking to. It works really, really good. What is a good vitamin to take to help lower blood pressure? Like, I can give you 1 out of the 8 vitamins would be like nitrate, because it vasodilates all your arterial system. But the thing is, when it comes down to blood pressure, it's a little bit complicated, right? Because it could be coming from your kidneys, could be arterial damage, could be adrenal. So it could be many things. So that's why I did write a PDF ebook on high blood pressure specifically. What blood test to get done, how to wean off your current medications, and what lifestyle to follow. And if there is any arterial damage that is causing the high blood pressure, what should you do to actually heal it? So I went in full details on that ebook. So definitely, this is for big men, 16, 18. Definitely check it out. Download the ebook. I can't remember what I have it at cost. I think $11 or something. Download it, read it. If something you disagree with, hey, by all means, send me a direct message. We can chat and we can talk about it a little bit more specific. It does work, but be patient because things don't change overnight. While you are taking your magnesium chloride and taking magnesium taurine and taking your nitrate and you're actually fulfilling all these missing gaps, be patient because it does take, a little bit, especially when it's a high blood pressure issue, it does take some time, up to a year or so, to actually fix some of these issues. Sometimes longer, it depends how far the damage has gone. And guys, the ebooks that I have, if you click on my picture, under my picture, there is a link. If you click on that link, you're gonna see, my ebooks that I've written, and you can actually access them from there. Can I give magnesium threonate to my son? He's well stressed, his final year at university. 100%. 100% you can give him that. So magnesium threonate, 1 teaspoon of caprylic acid 8, 1 teaspoon of omega-3 coming from cod liver oil, and 1 capsule of L-theanine of 200 milligrams. That would be like your ultimate stack. I'm gonna take one more question before I go, guys, because he's tapping on my door now downstairs. What can I give? Oops, I missed that question. What can I give a child with ADHD to reduce symptoms? Probably like one of your safest for that, for a 6-year-old, would be cod liver oil. That would be my initial start. Anything else for a young kid? Probably no more than omega-3s, cod liver oil, DHA, EPA coming from cod liver. That would be like the ideal best scenario. And maybe you can either give him like a vitamin B complex, but I rather you kind of giving him like, say, like maybe 1 or 2 ounces of beef liver to actually fulfill if there's any missing gaps in the vitamin B history in his body, because that will help as well too. Guys, I'm gonna get going here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, I'm gonna actually download that video and post it up on YouTube. In the meantime, would love to stay much longer, but I can't, unfortunately. I have Duke waiting for me. Just, keep in mind, what do you think about zeolite? Nolan, I do use zeolite. I did 2 videos. I'm going to do a 3rd video coming up here in the next day or 2. I love the product. Been using it for about 7 years. Works really good as well too. Check out the videos, guys. One thing I want to leave everyone with today, invest in your health. Seriously, guys, invest in your health, because, once you start to see the positivity of, adding vitamins and eating healthier, you'll be amazed. Works for autism, yes, works really good for autism. And Nolan, the video that I did, I did have it in how much to use based on body weight as well too. So definitely, but Nolan, if you have more information, definitely would like to hear your part as well on that. Wouldn't mind. So definitely send me a direct message. In the meantime, guys, yes, Duke needs my attention.